ant, you little damn ant, buddy.
You're such a nice guy, Jay Leno.
I'm bored! I'm so bored!
Why don't we go to my website?
Gentlemen, the cola is very, very good today.
Gordon, before we get into this episode, I need to ask you, and I'm going to regret asking this, but is Zack Snyder's Justice League a TV movie or not?
I don't think so. This came up last night. That's why we're asking it now in a separate conversation. I don't think it counts.
But it premiered exclusively on streaming, which is something that we count when it comes to TV movies.
I mean, like, would you say that, like, a certain cut of Blade Runner is its own separate direct-to-DVD movie because it was a different cut, a different release of another movie? Like,
I would say no for most other like director's cut type things.
I know Zack Snyder's Justice League is
its own beast. And you know, like even though I would dread having to watch it for this podcast because I fucking hate Zack Snyder, I fucking hate that movie, I fucking hate most of the DCU, or at least the first iteration of it. And it's just like, but I feel like this is something that should be on the table.
I mean, if
the one thing actually that I think would actually disqualify it is just the fact it's 4.5 hours long.
I mean, if it ends up on the list, it is entirely by your doing because you posed the question and also are the one who edits that list. So if it happens, excuse me, you need to not get mad at me for it because let it be said, let it be known here and now, I was always against this.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't see the original cut either. I've seen like 2 of the DCEU movies, I think.
Have you seen Man of Steel or Batman v Superman?
I've seen Batman v Superman and The Suicide Squad. Oh, and Wonder Woman.
Did you like Batman v Superman?
I thought people were really weird about it at the time. I don't think I liked it, but I didn't hate it to the degree that people at the time were like, this is the worst movie ever made.
Okay.
It's a movie I don't think about at all.
Okay.
It's to the point that I consistently forget that it exists. And when I remember that it exists, I sort of like, it's kind of funny that that movie happened and was such a non-entity.
You know what I think is funny? It's like, so like there's a whole thing about how Wall Street is the only movie to win both a Razzie and an Oscar. Yeah. And it's like, and when looking through the list of like movies that were nominated for both, like Suicide Squad feels like a perfect one.
Except it only won an Oscar?
It only won an Oscar because the Razzies only nominated it for Worst Supporting Actor for Jared Leto. I mean, because they gave everything to Batman v Superman that year. It's just like
so weird.
It really felt like, and when I think back to that time, I feel like Suicide Squad was the one that really got more hate, like more people mocking it, which is usually how the Razzies go. But no.
Well, yeah. Because Snyder, at the very least, has the cult of fanboys, and nobody was really, willing to show up for David Ayer in that kind of way.
But for whatever reason, the Razzies just really preferred going in on Batman v Superman.
It is so weird that Suicide Squad slipped through the cracks in that kind of way.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here to talk about Sirens. A movie completely unrelated to all of this discussion.
Yes. A movie that... So I knew going into this what this was about. Just from sort of just from like looking at the Wikipedia page when we drafted it. But it did take until the title card that I put together. Oh, it's sirens like police sirens.
You didn't get that?
Well, no, because I wasn't thinking of it in that, in that sort of way. I was just thinking like, oh, this is like, about a woman searching for vengeance. And because I didn't know the tone of it, I thought it was going to be more of like a suspense thriller, and I thought it was like about, that it was and I guess it's probably intended to be a double meaning, because she does a little bit get into that sort of like thriller protagonist archetype.
I mean,
but like, no, totally just slipped by me that we're talking about police sirens.
Yeah, I never would have thought that it meant like a metaphor for like the mythical creature siren, like where that drug men to their deaths. Like I was always assuming police sirens or like ambulance sirens or whatever, because when I think of sirens, I think of the TV show Sirens. No, that not that one, the one that aired on USA Network in like mid 2010s. And it's like that's about an ambulance, and it's just like, and so when I see this, it's like, oh, that's sirens. But I'm finding out there's so many things called sirens.
Yeah, there's a lot. There were like, when I went to go put this on just some letterbox list, and you have to scroll down so many different options of movies called Sirens before you get to Sirens 1999, directed by John Sacred Young. Like, It's a popular title. And this is not a popular movie under that title.
Also, I just almost forgot to mention, this is our 6th, 7th movie.
Yep.
Anyway, I just thought I just wanted to make sure that was known.
I just wanted to make you sit in that for a bit. I just wanted to.
I am
to
aware.
let that.
I know you are shaming me for bringing that up. Because it is not a significant number in any way except for the dumb joke meme that is way past its prime now.
If it had been Season on the Brink, it would have been relevant because it comes up in that movie. But no,
6, 7 on the Brink.
Sure. We're talking about Sirens from 1999, written and directed by John Sacred Young, starring Dana Delaney, Keith Carradine, Justin Theroux, Vondie Curtis Hall, and Brian Dennehy, with some other people, Richard Blackburn, Jonathan Whitaker, Sabrina Gurdevich, and Julie Connor. The movie was broadcast September 26th, 1999 on Showtime. Other things airing at the same time on ABC. There was an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and the pilot episode of I think like a detective comedy show called Snoops. On CBS, there was a movie, or there was an episode of Touched by an Angel, and a TV movie, A Song from the Heart, which is a real Mad Libs of love triangle between blind concert cellist, played by Amy Grant, a self-centered pianist, played by D.W. Moffat, and her widowed neighbor, played by Keith Carradine. So double Carradine on TV at the time.
How can you choose?
I know. So much Carradine, so little time. On Fox, you had the season 11 premiere of The Simpsons, an episode of Futurama, episode of Family Guy, episode of a show called Action, which I think was like a Jay Moore vehicle. And on NBC, something called Third Watch, and the Saturday Night Live 25th anniversary special, which I looked into a bit of. Seemed kind of interesting. Like, certainly more so than the 50th anniversary, which was just like, here's a bunch of sketches. This seemed more thought out. It was like, we're doing clip shows, but also sketches. We have like dedicated like in memoriam segments to Belushi and Radner and Hartman and Denitra Vance and Michael O'Donoghue, like, and Chris Farley. Like, throughout the course of the show, we're gonna take some time to honor each of these cast members. And like, they had a bunch of guests, they had a bunch of people just there in the audience. Seemed to be a much more cohesive project.
Well, for the 50th, they like split it into two things. Like, there was the main episode, and there was like the concert kind of thing that was like
Yeah.
kind of that, or like kind of had more of like what you're looking for, whereas they also had the main episode with just sketches with all these cameos and stuff.
Yeah, this seemed to be less just sketch and cameo. I don't know why I'm eating while we're recording here. I have just like a pack of Twizzlers that I got last night when I was out delivering, and I'm just sort of compulsively eating those. That's not good audio. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, don't do that. Part of me is like I should I edit out you apologizing?
No, leave it in.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat anymore. I'm done. I'm putting it away from myself. Um, but yeah, the SNL 25. Remember when they did a 40th anniversary thing as well? Like,
Yeah.
did they think they just weren't going to last another 10 years?
I think they weren't I think they thought that. But then they did. And it's just like they have there's no sign of stopping.
Do you
Or
think they're going to do a 60th?
I wonder if like maybe Lauren was like really considering like stepping down around that time
That
and was
could have
just
been
like
it.
and it's like I wonder if they're thinking it's like as whenever Lauren stops, that's when the show stops. But also people are thinking it's like he might just pass it on to either Tina Fey or Colin Jost, whichever.
Colin Jost running Saturday Night Live. I don't want to think about that.
I'm sorry I
I,
had to tell you that, but that is one of the likely theories.
that tracks, but also I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a retirement thing because we all know Lorne Michaels is not dying.
Yeah, he never will die. He is in fact an ageless vampire. Like
And
Kevin
we are recording
O'Leary.
this Thursday, April 9th, and I am setting in stone Lorne Michaels will be alive by the time this episode goes out in
That
less than a week.
that would
I am
be
staking my claim in it. Lorne
like
Michaels, as you're listening to this, is alive and well.
yeah, you are staking your claim in it like you put a stake in a vampire.
Yes. Uh let's talk about Sirens. Let's get can we get serious now?
We need to get
quote
serious
Sully.
because this is a very serious movie. Like
At least it tries to be. I think,
yes,
it's
okay.
certainly
I should
a
say
very
that.
it's a serious subject matter.
It's a serious movie for the first 30 minutes.
And I think at a certain point it part of what makes this movie so not I don't think this is a bad movie. I
No.
think it like at a certain point it wants to have its cake and eat it too about what kind of movie it is, about whether this is a
Yes.
serious drama about real world issues or if it's more of a it never goes full pulp. It never goes full like trashy thriller like crime thing, but like it certainly on the edges goes towards that. And I think that
Yes.
disconnect is what makes this a dissatisfying movie that I think had it gone in either direction, had this been more of a like, just straight down the middle serious drama about these characters in the wake of this horrific tragedy, or if it had been like cop crime like thriller drama, woman getting vengeance and going to great lengths to get it and like really fucking these guys over. Either one of those I think would have been a more satisfying watch than this, which is kind of aimless in terms of what type of movie it is.
Exactly. Uh like let's start with like the first 30 minutes or so, which is like this very serious like it's a movie about like this woman and her ex-husband and they're out like having a little fling at the middle of the night in their car and then cop comes over and like forces them to get out and ends up killing the ex-husband who is a black man. And it's like and it's all this opening 30 minutes is all about like the roadblocks that are in the way into like getting justice like against the cops who just straight up murdered him and it's like and like there's these multiple really great scenes like and Dana Delaney is really good in these first 30 minutes and it's like how like just the pain and everything of like having to lose this person she loves and it's like there's the random award ceremony where she keeps getting like flashbacks to that night and I forget who the guy is that she's talking to in the scene where she's like really trying to interrogate this guy on um like how often does this kind of thing happen? Like how
There's
often
a
is there?
few different like anonymous guys that she goes to, because there's that guy and there's the like, I guess maybe private investigator in the bar, and
Yeah,
there's also a third guy. Like, I think the one you're talking about is some like lawyer for the state, for the
yeah,
police department.
yeah.
But
It's
like none of these guys get
probably the
really
DA or
proper.
something.
Yeah, something, because he knows the stats and he knows
Yeah,
all the legal stuff. But like none of those people are characters in this movie. We just sort of cut back to them when we need another, stumbling block for her to try to get past to get justice.
but yeah, and it's like in this specific scene, it's just like how many times is there a shooting like this? And it's just like, well, I don't have the stats in front of me. You must have some idea. And it's like, well, like I said, I don't have the stats. You must have some idea. And he says like about 800, and it's like, which is crazy that like I was just like 800
800 in
is
the
a
past
lot
10
of people.
years. Yeah.
And then it's
One
just like,
inquest, no
no conviction
indictments.
or indictments, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just like that's a scene that really just hammers home just like how much of a problem this is. And then and we don't really, and it's like we're in this moment until it's like it's all like it till we really get that sense of hopelessness, like yeah, there is nothing she can do to really get justice for her husband, her ex-husband. And it's like there's a scene with like the husband's sister or something, where she's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like gets like really mad at her, and then it's at this point where the movie kind of switches, where it's like it goes from trying to get justice in the legal system to just trying to really fuck with the two cops, I guess. And it becomes
And
a
then
much
one.
different movie.
And then eventually just one, because she starts
Ugh,
sleeping with Justin Theroux.
I don't like that part.
No,
It's really bad.
it starts out as she's trying to, she follows Keith Carradine through his like, you know, fuck tour of Cleveland, which is, I mean, that's, I think, I don't think it's an unrealistic depiction of this shitty, philandering cop that doesn't take anything seriously. But with how, I'm not going to say grounded, but with how low key every other character is, the fact that he's so larger than life is kind of a tonal disconnect in this movie.
He's so
But
over the top.
every other scene is him either, having public sex with another woman, or just like loudly boasting, hey, I lie under oath and I kill whoever I want to, come get me, is essentially how this character, like, there's no nuance to him in the way that the movie at least tries to paint some nuance on Theroux. And it's just strange. But she follows him first to have sex with some woman in maybe a car dealership, maybe a gym. I couldn't tell what that like. And then
It's very funny that those are two locations you could confuse, but I also get it. Like
it's real. Like he follows her into a building with full glass windows for the walls. Like there's no floor to ceiling. And then we cut to them inside this building or maybe open air lot, and he has her bent over something that could be a car or could be a piece of gym equipment, and they're having sex. And then he leaves, and she like flashes him under her trench coat before he goes. And it is ambiguous as to what type of establishment they just were in. But then he goes to a bar, and she runs into Theroux, and like he's drunk and doesn't recognize her, so she takes him home, and then like doesn't have sex with him and smashes his mirror and leaves. And eventually tells him who she is, and they have a fraught sort of relationship where she's mad at him, but also, I guess, into him. And then she's also like she's a hacker, I guess, at some point in this movie. We'll talk about that. But she like uses his ex-wife's credit card to buy a bunch of concrete for the yard. And then there's a whole thing where he tries to go, take the kids and give them Christmas presents, but she calls the cops. And Dana Delaney, I guess, feels sorry for him in this scene because she sees him also being frisked by cops that like I don't it's a
that
it's
is
a,
it was such a weird scene because like
it's
like the way I was taking it was like, oh, like yeah, he's very impulsive, aggressive kind of guy, and then it's like when the cops frisk him, it's like, oh, they're treating him so much nicer than they were
yeah.
treating Dana
The
Delaney
one
and the
cop is like,
husband.
you don't have to let me, but can I pat you down? You don't have to let me, but can I look in your car? And it definitely does read like she's seeing the double standard in real time, but no, she instead sees, oh, I like this guy because he also got harassed by cops despite
It's like
being a cop
it's
and a shitty one.
and it's just like in that scene when she's staring at him, it's just like, God, I can't not fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, he does look like a 1999 Justin Theroux.
Yeah, like
But at the very least, like, and that's if this movie was more interested in being the like, sleazy, dirty, psychological, potentially erotic thriller version of this, where she like forms this trauma bond with this guy. If she doesn't tell him who she is until much later, it's a much more interesting thing. Like, I'm not gonna, I'm not saying Monsters Ball is a movie that has enough favorable aspects to be making favorable comparisons to it. That's a flawed movie for sure. But like one of the more interesting things in that value neutral interesting is the dynamic between Halle Berry and Billy Bob Thornton, where she doesn't know who he is. And it leads to more interesting drama later on. And in this, he knows who she is well before they actually have sex. And so there's no like suspense between their relationship. There's no, I just like, there's nothing there. I don't care about it. I don't want her to end up with him. I don't like him because he's a shitty guy and a shitty cop that like gets his flimsiest, sliver of a moral backbone way too late.
way too late.
And like he ends up being, the final shot, not the final shot, but one of the last scenes of the movie is him walking into the courtroom to testify. Like he gets to have a good ending where he has changed as a person and like all is forgiven, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really weird thing that like the version of this movie that is more interested in being a regular by the books, serious drama about serious things is not nearly as lenient with this character or with their relationship together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all like the second that it's like she's showing like any romantic interest in Thoreau, it just completely takes a nosedive. And it's just like the whole fake like good cop mentality is such a tired, stupid trope that just is not a real thing. And it's like
And he's
it's
also like the movie is just sort of telling you he's a good cop while showing you that he's not.
oh yeah,
Like
exactly.
it just
It,
wants you to buy that like and he's good now and he's a good guy and like him.
yeah, it's like he doesn't really do anything good except like go to Brian Dennehy and it's like, hey, that stuff like that was made up, and then Brian Dennehy's like, I don't care, fuck you.
And then yeah, he does testify and I guess we are left uh with the assumption and the comfort that the American judicial system will take care of everything. They
Yep.
fucked it up the first time, but now that they know the truth, everything's gonna go all right.
Yeah, like just because Justin Theroux is going into that courtroom, that will definitely undo what we've seen is like a
And
very
the
strong like police like supporting each other type thing where it's just like I like it's it's not that hopeful of an ending.
And the like illicit dash cam that she planted in her own car, which is definitely not going to be thrown out as evidence as like, you know, uh, uh, what's the word for that? Entrapment.
Yeah.
Like she set up a camera and called the cops herself, and then shot the cop that she has a past history with. That's definitely going to be admissible as evidence.
Yeah.
Like,
And she shot him too. Like that alone is gonna fuck up her life and get her thrown in jail too.
yeah, it's not a happy ending if we're looking at it with any degree of realism. Um but yeah, I did take a good handful of notes on this actually.
I took
Uh, uh,
some. First, where I want to start is going back to the very beginning. What an insane way to start the movie. Having Vondi Curtis Hall just reading excerpts from I think Huckleberry Finn.
yeah, because he's like a literature professor.
Yeah.
And he's read like it is very much, hey, this movie is about race, so let's have this black man read a bit of American literature that is very controversial for its language about race and about black people, and isn't that commentary? Isn't that interesting? And then they just sort of move on from that. But it's certainly a shocking opener. I do like Vondi Curtis Hall in this. I think in his limited screen time, he's a very charming presence. I generally like him as an actor whenever he'll show up in anything. And it was nice to get him in this for as much time as we did have with him. I liked their chemistry together where like after his lecture, she sticks around to like they have sort of like awkward small talk about how is it their anniversary or their divorce anniversary?
I do not know.
But either way, they're like sort of awkwardly reconnecting. Like, things weren't all bad, but like they weren't great either. But either way, it ends up with them in her car under a bridge having sex. And I like that sort of awkward play that they have off each other with their sort of neither one of them is really bitter or like claiming the moral high ground over each other. They're just like, it wasn't all bad, but we had our problems, but like there's no animosity. It's an amicable divorce that I think is sweet.
Yeah. And you could tell like they still like have love for each other even if they're not married. Well, yeah, they're also fucking.
Yes. But like it's clearly not like they have been fucking all this time. Like this is sort of a one and done, like, hey, for old time's sake. But yeah, I like him. He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just like I like looked him up like because it's like I recognize this guy. What is he in? And he's like, oh, he's in a lot of shit.
He's in a lot of stuff. He's a very prolific actor. He was in the original cast of Dreamgirls on Broadway.
Oh shit. That's so
He's
cool.
the character that is Danny Glover in the movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's also in Romeo plus Juliet with Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy was in that?
Yeah, he's the which one is he? He's Romeo's dad.
Montague.
Yeah.
Ted Montague.
Ted Montague, yeah.
I did not remember him in that. But
it's one of his don't look this up. It is one of his 5 most popular movies on Letterboxd. How many of the other 5 can you get?
Okay, so I did have his page just open.
Okay. Well, never mind then. It's Ratatouille, First Blood, Tag, and Knight of Cups.
Oh, you were saying Brian Dennehy. I thought you were saying Vondi Curtis Hall.
No, Dennehy.
Yeah, I only remembered him in Knight of Cups. I did not like I've seen all 5 of those movies. I had no idea he was in any of them.
I feel like First Blood is probably one of his most notable film roles. Like that and Tommy Boy feel like the two that, if someone has like a touchstone for Brian Dennehy, it's probably one of those two, or of a certain age, I guess 10.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. First Blood is one of the like in a lot of his obituaries, it was like First Blood star Brian Dennehy passes away.
I just don't have a real good memory of First Blood. It wasn't a movie I cared about much. Uh,
Not
I
surprising.
I do think about how like he was getting like a lot of like indie spirit love for Driveways,
Yes,
or just
yeah,
like in like Critics Awards love.
yeah. Which did that come out posthumously, or was that like
Uh, I I think it was like right before he died.
right? Yeah, I need to see that. I
I'd
heard
be
it was
curious about
good,
that.
and I like Hong Chow a lot. So like, a lot of people I follow gave this like from like 4 to 5 stars,
Oh, I've seen
for
it.
the
I
most part.
did not remember that I'd seen it.
Oh, well, 2020 was a time where we all watched a lot of things that like we don't remember watching.
Yeah, I think I probably like got it from the library or whatever, and just
Probably.
oh, and it was
Like,
Andrew On too. I really love him.
there you go. I
Dang.
mean, like 2020, do we all remember watching uh Greyhound?
Nobody
Or
watched Greyhound. Well, I watched Greyhound because it was an
yeah,
Oscar nominee, but
yeah, or Supernova?
Supernova, was
Colin,
that like Stanley Tucci, Colin Firth movie?
yes, Stanley Tucci's gay, or they're both gay, but Stanley Tucci is like has Alzheimer's or something.
He's gay, but he's more gay because he has Alzheimer's.
No, but like I was gonna say Stanley Tucci is gay and has Alzheimer's, but like Colin Firth is also gay in that, just doesn't have Alzheimer's. Remember On the Rocks?
Yes, I
Remember
remember.
Mulan?
I remember Mulan. Supernova,
Remember?
also called Slay Alice.
Don't do that. It
I
doesn't even work. It doesn't like
it does not work at all.
there's like
I just wanted to make Still Alice gayer as like Slay Alice.
I guess so. Um
I guess it would be just Still Tusker because that's his name. His
oh
name is
right.
Tusker. What?
I guess so. What's Colin Firth's name? Is that does he have a normal person
Sam.
name? Okay. Well,
Sam and Tusker.
I guess that's why he's not dying, huh? He's got a normal name. Um there are some weird things in this movie. There's some weird little things on the fringes of this seemingly fairly normal movie, but like there's some weird like
There's some crazy montages in this.
there's some crazy things throughout. Like, okay, when Dana Delaney gets brought in for questioning or for like to get her statement as a witness, the guy who's questioning her is like, okay, what's your occupation? Where do you work? And she says Zach's Corporation, and he's like, okay, no lying, lady. Where do you work? And she goes, Zach's Corporation. And he goes, okay, well, what's your position? And she's like, executive vice president. So she's the executive vice president for Zach's Corporation. What do they do? There's like a scene, the scene that you mentioned where she's getting some prize for, the award ceremony where she's like getting, like best woman prize,
Woman of the Year.
Yeah. But like it does, but like the way they talk about it is like, you're the first woman to ever hold this job. And like, she makes some sort of like vague allusion to like technology, maybe nanotechnology. I couldn't tell. I also don't know how it's spelled. So is this like ZAX Corporation, like some like sleek, or is it like ZACH apostrophe S? This is Zach's Corporation, and now we're letting a woman in charge instead of Zach.
What I was thinking was that it was like cell phones and something, because from what I could tell from her speech, it was about it was basically about making technology smaller or whatever. But
yeah.
I was for some reason I was just imagining like cell phones.
Did they make it a technology thing so that she can break into their computers and to have access to a dash cam for the end. Is this like a plot relevant tech company? That's stupid.
Maybe.
Um, she does, by the way, break into Keith Carradine's computer to get the police files because his password is just his first and last name. His password is just Don Wexler, all one word.
I did not realize that.
She's like sitting at the computer, like real. She tries a few things and then she stops and she goes, DonWexler, and it logs it.
That's how narcissistic he is. His password is just his name.
Which I had to edit Wikipedia for this because it said he's credited as Dan Wexler. There's multiple times in the movie they call him Don or Donald or Donnie. And like I will not stand for incorrect Wikipedia crediting.
We thank
Don
you for your
Wexler.
service.
Thank you. Yeah, she just breaks into the computer and gets the police file. And then confronts Dennehy. Okay, Brian Dennehy is not in this movie very much. He has like maybe 4 scenes, and they're all like, you know, very Dennehy focused scenes. He's not on the sidelines when he is in the movie. He's just not in the movie much.
I was kind of surprised how little he is in this.
But he's good.
Yeah, he's good in it, but it's just not his movie.
Yeah, he does a very good job of being this just like completely blank. Like he does not show any amount of remorse or sympathy about this, but he's also not like reveling in it in the way that Keith Carradine is. He's just sort of like,
it's very matter of fact.
Yes, a matter of fact, you know, bureaucratic. This is how we run things around here. And like, if you don't like it, tough shit. He is not rubbing it in their faces, but he's also not like, you know, hemming and hawing about it. It's just how it goes. He is totally unfazed by having to run damage control on this shooting like it's just another day at the office. And it's kind of chilling. He really delivers on the promise of Brian Dennehy, corrupt like police chief or whatever his job is. That's not like corrupt in the traditional like fictional corrupt cop way, where he doesn't see himself as corrupt. He sees himself as like doing what needs to be done to keep things working, and it's is really sickening, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, like short but sweet Brian Dennehy.
Great scumbag. The scene where Dana Delaney's driving around at night and there's just this wailing electric guitar, like brooding score going on as she's trailing Carradine on his what did I call it? Fuck session? A fuck tour of Cleveland?
Fuck tour of Cleveland, yeah.
Like the music is kind of wild, but that was really the only time that I took note of it. But
yeah, I think you just notice music more than I do because this happened.
And I usually don't even notice the score all that much when I'm watching a movie. But like, it also the reason why I noticed it is because it's the first time really tonally the movie dips into the sleazy thriller vibes. Otherwise, up to this point, it's been very dry procedural drama. And then she's driving around, again, Cleveland, Ohio. Like, this is not even like a particularly lurid city to be driving around at night with these, you know, streaky street lights and wailing electric guitar. But like, it does sort of dip into a totally different vibe. And it really caught me off guard because that is not the movie I had been watching to that point.
Yeah, it's just... The turn is so... It's not even really sudden, but it's just like it's just so different. And it's just like... And it also got accentuated because like around the point when it started turning was like I took a break from watching to talk with my girlfriend. And it's like it's like before I was talking with her, it's like it was this like really serious like crime movie that I was like really liking. And then after... And when I came back, it was like this this like almost erotic thriller type thing where she's like, but it's just like, it's like when did this become this? It's just like, it's just so what
But like
it's
without being erotic or thrilling. Like,
yeah.
and not even trying to be either. Like
it-
it
it's
just
such a mess.
it yeah, it's very tonally inconsistent. Also, like, not to say that, worth noting that that first 30 minutes I wasn't necessarily as on board with it as you were, it seems like, because like there's some weird stuff. His family in the two scenes they show up, well, no, there's the scene where they're like trying to identify the body, and the like lab tech there is being very flat about it. But like the scene, I guess they have more scenes than I remembered, but like the scene in the courtroom is fine. But then the scene in the elevator after the verdict, where Dana Delaney gets in and they like all leave, and then the scene where she goes over to pick up some things from his house, and the sister is like, oh, they all leave except for like the young. Is that that's his kid, right?
I think it could be. I'm
Because they
not
mentioned a few
sure.
times that he has a kid that's not her kid,
Yeah, like I
from some
just
other relationship. But I couldn't tell if that was like his kid or his sister's kid. No,
I
it must be his kid because they call him uh, Vinny Jr. or they call him Vinny, and that's in the scene where she goes to pick up some things, she calls Fondy Curtis Hall Vinny, and his sister is like, nobody called him Vinny. You're just dishonoring him and all this. You're not honoring his legacy and his memory. And then she like she has something that's like, hey, Vinny Jr. made this for you because he feels bad. This kid made this thing for you. And then she chucks it at her, and it hits the wall and breaks. And like, this movie has no sympathy for the family of this man that was just executed. Like,
mhm.
all they exist to do in the movie is to be a further, alienation and roadblock for Dana Delaney's character. Like, I thought that was really
Yeah,
eyebrow raising, because like, what do you mean they why I guess they're blaming her because she
she
was the
was
reason
there.
he was in that car, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of, and because they're exes and all that, but like, they were seemingly on enough good terms. I don't know. It's weird. It feels out of place with how much emphasis is put on it in the first half for those characters to never appear in the rest of the movie. After the elevator scene, the only scene we get with any of those characters is the scene with the sister, maybe 7 minutes later, and then they're gone. They get referenced later where she sends them to one of the lawyers to like try and settle or get some like, you know uh, uh, uh what's the word where you challenge a previously established what's that word, like there's a verdict and you're trying to
Oh, appeal?
appeal. Yes, I don't know why like, because she wants to appeal it, and they're like, well, you weren't married, so you don't have any claim to an appeal. The family has to. And then later on, she goes to that same guy, and he's like, oh yeah, the family came to me for an appeal. And she's like, yeah, I sent them your way. And it's sort of like to humble this guy that didn't help her earlier. But like, we don't see the scene where she goes to the family to help them out,
Yeah.
to like give them this avenue through which they can try to get justice in their own way. There is no slack given to these characters in making them anything other than like mean to this poor lady, as the movie sort of depicts them.
The way I was reading it was like one, they are of course very emotional because they're grieving this guy. And also it's like what I kept on thinking, like at least in the early sections, was that like every scene with them was like kind of like a scene that was trying to reinforce like why she's pushing this, because it's not just for her, it's for his family, like everybody who knew him. And it's just like but then it's just like again, as it switches, it completely drops the family.
They're
It's
not in the movie. They are, yeah.
Like, for example, the scene where she like throws the thing at her, it's like that was a sign that's like, oh, it's like she failed them because she was not able to like get bring them to justice or anything. And so it's and so it's like, and so that's when she had to find other routes, but then it's also just like, but then the other routes get so just like so pulpy, like you were saying. It's just
Yeah.
it I really wanted this movie to be better. And it's like, and it had signs of being like a like I in those first 30 minutes. Again, I was like thinking that this was going to be like one of the biggest surprises of this podcast since like More Than Friends was like such a really great movie out of nowhere. But then this just fell so flat.
Yeah. I got some more weird things that I wrote down.
Please tell me more weird things.
There's a scene where Theroux and Carradine are like showing up to the station in the morning, and Carradine is just going off like, oh, off to another day of testifying. And Theroux is like, you mean testifying, sir? He's like, no, testifying, which is what I call testifying, because the public always lies to us. So why can't we lie to them too? I lie under oath all the time. I lie in my testimonies. I love lying. Lying. I do it all the time. I know that I do it, and it's great. And he's just like, he's just, and then he goes to hit on some other woman that's just like there for some reason, and he sits next to her, is like, hey, effectively is like, hey, I can smell your pussy from here. Want to go fuck? Is effectively how he talks to every woman in this movie. And that was interesting.
Keith Carradine almost feels like he's trying to do Lockjaw before Lockjaw.
But it
doesn't go that far either. It's just like it's written that way, but he doesn't act it that way.
I think it's maybe, I don't know. It is the character is written that way. I think Keith Carradine is giving a baffling performance in this movie. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's bad or like good at playing a scumbag, but like it's really jarring. It's really strange. Again, it's so overplayed when every other performance here. I mean, Dana Delaney is sort of wavering back and forth as the movie is unsure what to do with her character, but like he's so much bigger than everyone else. It's really weird. It's real, like I don't ever buy this character as a real guy, even though I know like he's playing some degree of like realism for the shit. I'm not saying that like, oh, there's no way cops could possibly be this bad, but like the kind of bad that he is feels like not a real human being.
It's very cartoonish, and to the point where it makes me think that like in an early draft of the script, it's like where he's like probably like more grounded but still evil like cops are. It's like there was a criticism of it where it's just like you have this one end up being the good cop, but this one end up being the bad cop, yet they're very similar in what they do. Can we like distinguish them? And it's just like, oh yeah, I'll just make the bad cop super fucking evil all the fucking time so everyone knows this is the bad guy.
Yeah, and I think it would work better in this movie for the version of this character that we get if she like kills him, because she like shoots him in the hip or something, and then he goes to stand trial and we don't get the follow-up on that. We just sort of see him walking through the courtroom as he's swarmed by or through like the courthouse as he's being swarmed by reporters, and we have like voiceover from people involved in the trial. But like, if you're gonna make the character over the top, at the very least give him a satisfying death, or have a scene where he is sentenced to life in prison or something. As unrealistic as that is, for this cop to see consequences for any of this, like at the very least give us that, and don't leave it with no resolution. And again, asking the audience to put their faith in the American judicial system vis-a-vis prosecuting a cop.
You know what? I I feel like this movie probably originally ended with like her and Thoreau straight up just killing him and like hiding the body and like just like covering up all the evidence that like he was murdered and just like he disappeared or whatever. But then it's like again, some producer, somebody was just like, yeah, we shouldn't have the happy ending of our movie be they murder a cop and hide the evidence of it. So it's just like, okay, we have to go through the justice system.
This is gonna sound like maybe a strange comparison, but like in terms of movies that want to be about a woman pushed past her breaking point to get revenge, and like seeking retribution socially from the people that wronged her and her loved ones, and then ends with us asking to trust the system, did get a little bit of Promising Young Woman vibes from that ending.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Can you hear my dogs in the background, by the way?
I cannot. No.
Okay.
No, they're noise canceled.
Okay.
You know what's a word I never expected to hear in a movie, much less 3 times in the same movie? Scuzz Queen.
What does it even mean?
It's, I guess, supposed to. I mean, like, it's not even like you have to self-censor. You're on Showtime, but like, it's some like, I just like, you know, a low life woman, I guess, because there's a scene where Thoreau is like, oh, I don't even remember the context he says it, but he's like, you know, listing off a bunch of different, you know, derogatory terms for women. He's like, you know, some tramp, poon, you know, something, whatever, scuzz queen. And then at the end of the scene, it's the scene where she tells him that, you know, who she is, and she's like, oh, you have, when you shoot a man, you don't even recognize the woman he's with, you know, the tramp, the poon, the something, the scuzz queen. And then like 3 scenes later, she says scuzz queen again. It's like,
is this Cleveland slang or something?
I don't know what it is. I feel like it's probably just 90s slang that did not stick around. Like, it is meant to be hard hitting, like, oh, you know, this is the sort of degrading misogynist language that these real characters would use, but like, it is not a word that survived Y2K in the cultural lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other lines I wrote down. There's a like New Year's Eve party happening at the police station, and Theroux goes down to like the evidence room stacks to confront Carradine, who is like off on the side with some woman who he's like promising a promotion to. And then, you know, with full awareness that Theroux is just down the hall, that they're in the middle of a conversation, he just like breaks off and looks to the woman and goes, look at those lips, like a glazed donut. And then she goes down and starts giving him the loudest blowjob you've ever heard. And he just shouts, Happy New Year, as he's getting sucked off by this like secretary with his partner in full, you know, listening distance. So that was not what I was expecting in this movie. Again, very loud and sloppy blowjob. Like, it's not even like she ducks off screen and we're just sort of left to assume like, oh, he's getting blown. It's like she ducks off screen and then it's like,
okay. I straight up did not hear those noises.
No, they are very loud and very apparent.
I don't know, like, if we just watched different copies, but I didn't hear anything on there.
Okay, well,
like, I just heard him like say like the generic like, oh god, like good noises or whatever, and then Justin was like,
no, it's you know what? Actually, I'm gonna pull up the movie again. I'm gonna pull up the timestamp. We're gonna go find the scene again because I
am not doing that.
I don't want to be put in a place where I have, you know, plausible, where there's plausible deniability that I made this up and I sound crazy here.
I'm
I
not
don't want.
saying you made it up. It's just I just did not hear them.
Okay, but I need you. I need you to back me up on this.
Do you like I don't want to go find the video again.
I'm pulling it up now. I'm sending you the link to the video. I'm giving you the timestamp. We're doing this. I'm sorry.
Twitter or Zoom?
Twitter. It is 1 hour, 11 minutes, 31 seconds.
1 hour, 11 minutes. I can't believe we're doing this.
We're doing this, motherfucker.
Okay. The noises are there. It's just I was distracted by Justin Theroux interrupting it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I figured you were distracted from the scene to like not notice them, but I just wanted it to be on the record that I did not manufacture like in my head insert blowjob sounds to this scene. Thank you
Uh,
for backing me up here.
no problem. Part of me was expecting you to ask me to put the blowjob sounds under,
No,
like put them in
no.
here.
What do you think I am? Some kind of pervert over here?
I
No.
mean,
Although the next line I wrote down is a line from Keith Carradine. Before you were born, I capped off on another dude full load. Where he's talking about how when he was a younger cop, he shot a guy, but he missed and shot a dumpster and got made fun of for that. And then later on, he shot a dog on accident instead. So his reasoning for shooting Vondi Curtis Hall was that he wanted to have a good shooting, where like it's on the books that he like shot a guy for good reasons. And we didn't even mention like what they end up doing is they like break the taillight on the car and they plant a hair dryer to be the gun that Carradine called out, like, oh, he's got a gun, and then shoots like 7 bullets out of his clip into the guy.
mhm.
And like he fully just like killed him so that he would have a good shooting on his record, which then does bring you to the wild line where Theroux is confronting Dennehy and is like, this was a bad shooting. And like, yeah, no shit. Dennehy helped cover it up. What are you talking about? Like, why do you think that is going to move the needle at all? Saying this was a bad shooting.
Mhm.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
My last note that I have on the movie is again when the movie sort of dips into full on thriller, like a little bit Promising Young Woman again, where I think it's implied that Carradine is the one that spray painted Stooley on Theroux's car for going to the higher ups, and like it's like a ripped up teddy bear in the car or something. So Dana Delaney gets her revenge by writing killer on Carradine's windshield and lipstick, but also somehow, I guess because of her hacking skills, hacking into the TVs in this cop bar, excuse me, and playing the dash cam footage of the shooting while Carradine is there getting drunk. And there's like two TVs on opposite ends of the bar that are both playing it. And Carradine sees this and is like frantically looking back between one TV and the other as they're both showing it. And every time he looks back, there's a big dramatic like sound effect to it. It's like he looks at one TV and it's swoosh, 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 swoosh. Like it does like 7 or 8 cuts back and forth between two TVs. And it's the dramatic sound effect every time.
Yeah, it's like there's so many like scenes like that where it's like these over dramatic montages with like these weird sound effects and framing and stuff like that. Like there was one like earlier in the movie where it's like at the morgue and it's like a cross thing of like her being interviewed, a slow zoom on Vondi Curtis as like a dead body, and I just like other stuff going around the police station or morgue, and it's just like this. It's just so over the top, and it was like I was digging it, but it's just like it just felt so crazy.
Yeah, it's just and then the follow up to that is the killer on the windshield, and then he gets home drunk, passed out on the steering wheel, and she is just there at his yard waiting to pick him up out of his car, sling him over his shoulder or over her shoulder, walk him to the door, and then, knock on the door for his wife to answer and see him in another woman's arms and be like, "Oh, I'm just a friend. Wex has a lot of friends," and then leave to then go park her car under the bridge and bait him into showing up to shoot her, which, like, that's another thing that they mentioned. Like, Dennehy mentions that Carradine's character is under investigation from internal affairs for his womanizing, and so he's like almost out of a job for that anyway. It's just it's a character beat that goes really nowhere. Is like, hey, we want everyone to know that Keith Carradine is fucking the shit out of every woman in Cleveland. Like, that has to be dramatically apparent for this character.
That scene with Dennehy is actually something I took note of, because it's like there's such an emphasis on like how, like, yeah, when cops are doing drugs, we definitely, like, we
When
make
they're
sure
mobbed up, when they're like,
yeah, when they're taking bribes, when they're doing drugs, when they're sleeping around, it's like, yeah, that's when we, like, get rid of them. But when they kill somebody, it's like that's just because of the stresses of the job and the life on the street. And it's just like we gotta protect our boys. It's like, what? It's just so baffling. And yeah, maybe that's true, but also it really just feels like this this movie is coping. This movie is coping. It's like, oh wait, the cops aren't that bad. It's just that they sometimes let their guys kill people for fun. And it's like, no, it's like they protect each other from, like, everything. Like, that's what cops do. They fucking make sure that they can all stay in the job.
yeah. I mean, it's clearly meant to be the scene that disillusions Theroux, but like, I he still like shows up in a cop car. He's in plain clothes, but he shows up at the bridge in a cop car to like tussle with Carradine before Dana Delaney shoots him in the hip.
Yeah.
And then he goes to testify still as a cop, like with the cop lawyer. Like,
Yeah, I thought he was going to get, like, fucking, like, debadged or whatever.
yeah, that like the way that scene ends, Dennehy is like, hey, you know, maybe we don't want you out on the streets anymore because we want our cops to feel safe. We want police officers out there. And so it like kind of implies that he's, taking him off the force, but like that's as much as you get of it. So it's really not clear what's going on there.
It's just so nothing, like, what they do with it.
Yeah. I wrote in my notes the scene where where Theroux's ex-wife is chastising him for ordering concrete for the lawn on her credit card. In my notes, I typed concrete, and that's something.
It's nothing.
It's not. It's not anything, but I did write concrete, so I wanted to say that.
Concrete.
Do you have anything else you want to say? I have one YouTube comment. Most of the comments on the upload that we both watched, because it's the only place the movie's available, were either agreeing with the reviewer who put in a little clip at the beginning of the end that Brian Dennehy is underrated as an actor, or disagreeing and saying that people like Brian Dennehy, how is he underrated?
Since you sent me the link, I'm like looking at it. It's like the top two comments are like, love Brian Dennehy and Brian Dennehy was not an underrated actor.
Yeah. And there's some comments like, oh, Dana Delaney's good, Dana Delaney's bad, the movie's good, the movie's bad, all this stuff. But I do have one comment to read, which I think we can close us out on.
Well, no, I have a game.
Oh, right, you do have a game. I'll do the comment here since we're talking about it, and then we'll go to the game. I'm not going to do an accent for it, but here we go. I am from Russia. I never miss a Brian Dennehy movie. When I first saw Brian Dennehy, I was sure he was nobody other than one Oleg Sergachev, my college mate in 80s. The more I watched Dennehy movies, the more I got convinced he was my friend Oleg, and only Oleg. It was some kind of obsession. Two men could not be so 100% alike. Nobody knew what happened to Oleg, so I decided he moved to America and made the actor career there. One objection only to my theory. Oleg was utterly unable to speak English. He must be 64 now.
He must be 64 now. You think he's Brian Dennehy?
Brian Dennehy, who was your college friend in the 80s, Brian Dennehy, who was in movies in America in the 70s as like a middle-aged man. Brian Dennehy, who was the wise older bartender in 10 in 1979.
No, it's definitely Oleg, actually.
It is Oleg Sergachev.
Oleg Sergachev, if you're listening, which I know you are, shout out the comments.
Yeah. Come back next week for the next episode in Olegpril.
Olegpril, yes. That sounds like a fucking medication.
That's a medication with 20 seconds of side effects at the end of the commercial you get when you're watching something on FX.
It's discount Ozempic.
Yeah. Olegpril.
Anyway, are you excited for my game?
I know absolutely nothing about what it is going to be, so yes, I am.
So I was inspired by the fact that Keith Carradine's in this movie, and Keith Carradine famously, he's an Oscar winner, but for best original song.
This movie has 2 Oscar nominees, not for acting, because Justin Theroux, right? Doesn't he have a screenwriting? No, never mind. No idea. Does he have a screenwriting credit on
Oh, Joker, he does. I think so.
On writing?
Oh, no, never mind. No, he doesn't.
Maybe I think I'm just thinking of the fact that he is a credited writer on Tropic Thunder, which I think I'm just okay. He's not an Oscar nominee. Never mind. Interrupted you for nothing.
Yeah.
Continue.
He's also a writer on Rock of Ages. Weird.
Huh.
Anyway, but yeah. So because Keith Carradine was here, I decided to give you a quiz on actors winning Oscars for non-acting roles.
I do love this topic. This is always fun.
And it is going to be Jeopardy style. So I'm going to give you a statement and you have to answer who is blank.
Perfect. I love this.
Anyway, and I don't even know how many questions because I did not number them. 3, or answers, I should say. Probably 25-ish.
Good. I love this. Okay, hit me.
And it's almost it's not complete completionist, but there's only 5 I left out. But still, that means it's not every person's going to have an answer. Anyway,
I do think I am maybe more prepared towards this than you might think, because I did recently go through extensively the famous people nominated for and who were either nominated for or won Best Live Action Short.
Oh yeah,
semi recently. So
I expected you to get most of these, but it's also trying to remember who has which specific stats and whatever.
Yeah,
it's so. Anyway,
you know who's notably not on this list, even though he should be? Walton Goggins.
Yeah. I almost included him because I do have a few that are while they technically didn't win, they were still you'll see. But I just didn't feel like including him.
Okay, let's get going.
First one. As far as I can tell, this is the first actor to win a non-acting award for a film they starred in.
Oh, the first. Can I get hints on some of these?
Yeah. Ask me a question and I can help you.
What decade are we talking?
We're talking 1940s.
Okay. Is this a competitive award or
it is competitive? I didn't do any honoraries. No.
So it's not or I was gonna say Olivier getting the honorary for Henry V.
No.
Honorary award in the 40s.
Well, competitive award.
Oh, right. Yeah. Who is Orson Welles?
Correct. Because he won, of course, best screenplay along with Herman Mankiewicz.
Yes, of course.
While Best Picture was given to studios rather than individuals before 1951, this actor produced this film that won both Best Picture and Best Actor.
Who is Laurence Olivier, and
Correct.
what is Hamlet?
Yeah, it's just the actor or
Okay,
that we're
yes,
doing. But yeah, it was for Hamlet. Uh,
because he didn't win for director.
that prior question aside, this person was the first to win both Best Picture and an acting Oscar, albeit for separate films.
The first, who is Michael Douglas?
Correct. This is the first person to truly, legitimately win Best Picture and an acting Oscar for the same film.
Okay, there are not the first. Oh man, there's no way that the first is Frances McDormand, is it? Who is Frances
It
McDormand?
it is Frances McDormand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot who like want like who won like Best Picture but not an acting Oscar, or who won acting but didn't like wasn't up for Best Picture, or and it's like Frances McDormand was the first.
Well, there you go.
This person was the first to win both Best Director and Best Screenplay for a film they also starred in.
Oh,
Director and screenplay.
yeah. Oh, who is Warren Beatty?
No,
No, for someone
he's
before
never won
Warren Beatty.
screenplay.
Oh, right, he didn't win. I forgot that that was a part of the question. Just was thinking director. Okay. Um. Oh, who is Woody Allen?
Correct.
Yeah.
This person was the first to win both Best Picture and Best Director for a film they also starred in.
So it would have to be pre Woody Allen.
No, because Woody Allen didn't win Best Picture.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. I see what you mean now.
Yeah, he wasn't he wasn't a producer.
Wait. So one picture and director
Yeah.
for a movie they starred in.
Yes.
Um, Not Ben Affleck because he wasn't nominated for director. Oh boy. Trying to think what other directors, because and Reds didn't win Best Picture.
Correct.
Is Sidney Pollock in Out of Africa?
It's not Sidney Pollock.
Okay, because
You're overthinking this. Like this is
I'm
a very
sure I
easy
am.
one.
I'm sure I am. I'm just like,
Do you want a hint? Like I feel like you don't need
no,
one, but like
no. I'm just like,
just think through Best Picture winners.
yeah, I am. So if you said it's not pre Woody Allen, did you say it's not pre Woody Allen? Did I make
I
that up?
I didn't say that, but I will tell you it's after Woody Allen.
Okay, so it's not Cimino. It's not Benton. It's not Redford. It's
Christoph
not.
is yelling at you.
Oh, I'm sure he is. It's not Beatty. It's not Attenborough. It's not Brooks. It's not Fosse. It's not Pollock. It's not Oliver Stone. It's not Bertolucci. It's not. Oh, who's Kevin Costner?
No. He wasn't a
No.
producer.
Okay. Oh, who is Clint Eastwood?
There we go.
Okay.
Uh, it took you long enough.
It did. It did take me long enough. You're correct.
While known for primarily acting and directing, this person has only won Oscars for producing and writing.
Who is Ben Affleck?
Correct. While this actor has been nominated for 7 different categories, they've only won for screenplay.
Who is Kenneth Branagh?
Correct. And I believe that is still a record, although I think Alfonso Cuarón is tied for that record.
Yes, they both have 7 categories, I'm pretty sure.
Or no, maybe Alfonso Cuarón beat it because I know he's been getting a lot of the like short
I think it's
films
a
and
thing where it's like
documentaries.
Cuarón would beat it if international feature went to the directors, not the
True.
countries. But I think
Okay.
as it stands, I think
They're
it's a
still
tie,
tied. Okay.
as far as I know.
This person was the first to win adapted screenplay for a film they also starred in.
Who is Emma Thompson?
Correct. I thought that would trip you up. You'd think Billy Bob Thornton. Uh, This actor is the only person to win Best Original Score for a film they starred in.
Oh, who score for a movie they starred in? Trying to think who are score winners that are like also notable actors. Because if it wasn't a notable actor, you wouldn't have asked this.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it was like, if it was like, oh, John Williams shows up in one of these movies, like
Yeah.
that's not what we'd be talking about here.
Yeah.
Um,
And like, yeah, it's starring in, not just
yeah. Oh boy, can I get a decade again?
1970s.
Okay, let's see. Score, not song.
Correct. It is like it's not original song score, it is score.
Okay.
Or I think it's technically like dramatic scoring.
Yes. Oh no, because that didn't win. No, that doesn't track for a number of reasons. Going through the years, nothing is standing out to me. Um, Give me another
I
hint.
think I'll say this win was a long time coming.
Oh, right. Who is Charlie Chaplin?
There you go.
I even thought of that earlier in this quiz. Like, hey, don't forget Limelight. And then I forgot Limelight.
Yeah. And just a fun little thing on my end. So it's like I had been labeling like the statements as A and the answers or the questions you ask as Q, but then I forgot to write in Charlie Chaplin, and so I just swapped it like midway through.
There you go.
Anyway, while Keith Carradine was the first, this person was the second to win Best Original Song for a film they starred in.
Wait, that doesn't track because I thought, is Barbara not a. Oh, no, because she won for A Star is Born, Not the Way We Were. She's not a writer on The Way We Were. Who is Barbara Streisand?
There you go. Yeah, Barbra Streisand, like, even though Way We Were is famously her song, she did not write it, but she did
Right.
write Evergreen. Uh,
Yes.
and to follow that, Barbra Streisand coincidentally gave out original song to the next person to win for a film they starred in.
Okay. Is this an 80s movie?
No. Yeah, Irene Cara did not, like, she
Right.
didn't write Fame and didn't star in Flashdance.
Is this still a 70s movie? I can't imagine.
No, it's later.
90s.
Later.
Did she give Eminem his Oscar?
Yes. And
Wow.
I I specifically wrote person for this question instead of
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah. This is the one where you kind of stretch the concept here where like yes, technically he did act in that movie, but like
Like this is the one where well, there's a couple like one or two others where it's like they aren't known primarily as actors, but in this instance they did star in their movie.
yeah,
But yeah,
like Prince, I imagine is going to show up
we'll see.
with that in mind. We'll see.
Uh this duo both co-wrote their winning song and co-starred in their film.
Who are Glenn Hansard and Marketa? I don't remember her last name.
I'll give it to you, Erglova.
Yeah.
Yeah, for once, falling slowly.
Yeah.
Uh, while only doing the singing voice of the character, they are the most recent person to win Best Original Song for a film they're in.
Oh, I don't think Adina Menzel. No, because she doesn't have an Oscar. What animated songs have won since then? Remember Me was not written by the kid who sings it. Oh, the who are the songwriters and performers of Golden.
Yeah, specifically it's EJ.
Right. Yes.
She's the only one who is both a singer
Oh yeah,
and a writer.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Uh, These two artists are the only people to win Best Original Score or Best Original Song Score for films they starred in.
Who are Prince and oh boy, that category was not around very long to like
It was around for a good bit, like a few decades.
right. I guess so. I'm guessing this one is pre-Prince then, because
It is
that was
pre-Prince because he was
one of
famously
the
the
last.
last one to win
Oh,
it.
the last. Okay, the last. Um, 70s?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Nothing is coming to mind.
Come on. Come on.
Oh yeah, I know it's like right there. I just like can't think of.
There's so many hints I want to give you, but I would just give it away instantly.
Yeah. 79 it went to I imagine the Rose, but Bette Midler's not a writer on that music. 78, I don't know what would have won.
I
Yeah, most of these years I don't know actually what would have won. I don't know why I think going year by year is going to do anything here.
If you want, I can give you the year.
Yeah, you might as well.
I believe it's 1970. I'm going to double check that.
Well, that's heartening.
Yeah, 1970.
Okay, 1970.
Like 70.
Yes. Musical or musical adjacent enough to have a lot of songs. 1970. It's not going to be Scrooge.
No.
I was trying to think of musicals of 1970.
Imagine if Albert Finney wrote the songs for Scrooge and
And won an Oscar for it. Yeah. God.
Well, he famously never won an Oscar too.
Yeah, I know. Like it would be the equivalent of the fact that Lars von Trier's only Oscar nomination is for songwriting. Um oh boy. I this is really easy, right?
Yes, like this is a fact like you talk about sometimes.
Oh, I do. Oh, right, it's the Beatles.
It's the Beatles.
It's the Beatles, baby.
It's the yeah, who are the Beatles and Prince?
Who are the Beatles and Prince? Indeed.
Uh
We're living
next,
in the movie yesterday, but also Prince got erased too. Who
uh
are the Beatles and Prince? I don't know them.
and who are the Beatles and also Prince?
Yes. Anyway, continue.
Next one. Famously, this actor won Best Live Action Short in a tie alongside the short film Trevor.
Who is Peter Capaldi?
There we go. I knew you knew that one.
Yeah.
This actor won Best Live Action Short for Lieberman in Love, in which they also starred in.
Oh, oh boy. Who is I don't remember which of these actors actually won. Who is Peter Weller?
No,
Who is William Zabka?
no.
No, wait. Who is Christian Lottie?
There you go. I was wondering, like,
Okay.
where are you pulling these names from?
I know they were nominated for live action short. The two of
Okay.
them. I didn't just pull those at random, just like assuming. Well, it's got to be one of them. I just I remember they were on that list of.
Okay.
These ones aren't going to show up because I don't think either of them won. But I didn't realize until recently that both John Aston and Sean Aston were live action short nominees.
Oh, good
That's
for them.
fun.
Next one. This actor won Best Live Action Short for The Long Goodbye, which they also starred in.
Oh, this one I don't remember showing up. Or do I?
You
Wait.
should definitely remember this showing up.
Who is Griffin Dunn?
No.
No, wait. Does he have? No, he's just one of the nominees. Long Goodbye. Goldblum didn't win his. What
Chris
year
Rock
is it?
Part of me doesn't want to say it because it will give it away. But
Oh wait, yeah, the super recent. Who is Riz Ahmed?
yes.
I was thinking 90s and aughts. I was not. I forgot that was the name of the Riz Ahmed one because I
Yeah,
didn't watch the shorts that year.
I keep forgetting that the title is just The Long Goodbye, which is so
Yeah,
generic.
yeah, and also famously another movie already.
Yeah. Anyway, while the Academy didn't give documentary directors Oscars at this time, this actor still calls himself a two-time Oscar winner when their documentary Down and Out in America tied for Best Documentary Feature.
Oh God, I remember this. Why am I blanking on who it was though? Who is Shirley MacLaine?
No.
No, somebody like her, right?
I mean, in what sense?
I don't know, just like an actress of that generation.
Yes, I'll say that it is an actress who was working at the same time as her.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Like, it's not Jane Fonda because she already is a two-time winner. It's not Liza Minnelli, is it?
No.
No. Why am I blanking on which of these actresses it is? It's not Sally Field. She also has two Oscars the regular way anyway. Um,
I will say this is supporting actress. It was the other one she won.
oh, was it Vanessa Redgrave?
No.
No. God.
I'm surprised you don't know this one.
I do know. I remember the anecdote. I remember the story of it. I just my brain is going cloudy as to like putting a face to the winner of who we're talking about here. It's not Goldie Hawn. I'm just cycling through like anyone who won an Oscar for I guess for supporting actress in any of this era.
I'll even give you she won her acting Oscar in the 70s.
Yeah, okay. It's not Helen Hayes, Cloris Leachman, Eileen Heckart, Tatum O'Neal, Ingrid Bergman. Oh, right, it's Lee Grant.
There you go. I was just like, and then?
We'll
And
get
then?
there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Lee Grant. Okay, who is Lee Grant?
I was hoping you would just skip right past her.
Right into Beatrice Straight.
Next one. Something I just found out while researching for this. This actor won Best Documentary Feature for 2009's The Cove.
Who is Fisher Stevens?
I had no idea he was an Oscar winner.
I know he's an Oscar winner because I have the letterbox lists I have of like movies that star 4 and 5+ Oscar winners, and he bumps up a lot of those Wes Anderson numbers.
Yeah. And that was my last question as well.
Okay. Good
Or
quiz.
last answer,
Very
I
fun
should
quiz.
say.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that like could have shown up in there. Like,
Yeah, like
you
I
have
didn't.
like some like writer director actors like Taika Waititi.
Yeah, like Taika, and also with Taika, it's like he is more of a director than he is an
Oh, you know
actor.
who I guess you know who you didn't say is Robert Redford.
I didn't say Robert Redford because there just wasn't really anything interesting about his
Yeah, I
name.
guess you didn't do like Redford or Costner or the other.
Or I didn't do Ron Howard. I didn't
Yeah,
do Mel Gibson. Like I originally had a question that like after I said this person was the first to win both Best Picture and Best Director for a film they starred in, I originally had this person was the second to win both Best Picture and Best Director, but I just thought one, that's redundant. Two, I didn't really want to bring up Mel Gibson at a time like this,
yeah.
even though I
I'm
did also have Woody Allen.
yeah. I'm looking through this list that I have to see who else like if there's anyone else that jumps out as in that conversation. I mean, again, more directors like Attenborough and Pollock.
Yeah, and I mentioned like Irene Cara, but it's just like I
Yeah,
just didn't. Yeah, because especially since she didn't even act in Flashdance, it's just like there's no reason to bring her up.
right. I feel like there is somebody else,
Yeah,
but
there's probably a few others that and I did
but
look
like
through the.
someone specifically that I'm like trying to think of and blanking on.
Oh, Brad Pitt I didn't bring up, and
Oh yeah,
he won Best Picture for 12 Years a Slave, and I was just like, can I? And Matt Damon I didn't bring up, even though I
yeah,
did bring up Ben Affleck.
yeah. That covers that at least.
Hmm.
There's like Brett McKenzie.
Who?
Of Flight of the Conchords, who wrote Man or Muppet.
Oh, I didn't know that was an actor.
Yeah, he's one of the Flight of the Conchords. Like I just said, I guess I didn't need to repeat that.
Wait, who's Fly of the Concords?
It's him and Jermaine Clement. It's the sitcom where they're like a shitty band, not even a shitty band, but like a, they're a band that like has no following or
Okay, I was making a joke. I was gonna end it right after he said who's Fly of the Concords. Okay, everybody. Gordon.
Record scratch. The outro music played a little bit, but then record scratch. We're back because a few days later.
Doing record scratch.
I know. That's why I'm saying record scratch, because I know you're too lazy to go find one. That's why I'm saying it out loud verbally.
Like
record scratch.
I would be less lazy if this wasn't you forcing me to come back on here for some fucking reason. I don't even know why. You're just there was some fucking hole in the movie.
Not a hole in the movie. Not like a plot hole, but I was thinking about it the other day. We recorded the main episode a few days ago, and then yesterday I was driving and I was thinking about this movie some more. I was trying to figure out, like, there was something that was nagging at me. There was something that was irking me about the movie. I couldn't place what it was, and I figured it out, and I realized what makes this movie just like really not come together well is, what word we didn't say at all over the course of the whole episode about it? You know what word the movie never says?
What?
Racism. It never comes up at any point in the movie that this could have even been potentially a racially motivated killing by a police officer against a black man.
Yeah,
it's not what the movie is interested in or about. And the fact that I didn't think of it until like a few days after we watched and recorded it is especially damning.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, I didn't even really realize that.
Right?
Because on the one hand, I guess it was just kind of implied, but at the same time, it's like she never says it out loud or anything. It's just
certainly not like the movie is unaware of that. But at no point does it ever come up either explicitly or even implicitly. Like, Keith Carradine's character is shown to be a bastard in a number of ways, but like the movie never dwells on like, oh, is this guy a racist? Are we taking on institutional racism or individual racism or anything like that? It's not interested in that topic. It's not it just, when he's talking about why he did shoot him, it's just he wanted to be involved in a good shooting, and that never comes up as like part of why this is the one particular shooting that he decided to go for. Like, it really undercuts the movie's attempts to be a serious drama about serious topics, that there's such a glaring like thing that it refuses to engage with or acknowledge. And that's like, if it was just something minor here, I wouldn't have made us go through all the trouble of sitting down again to record this tag at the end. But like, it feels, the fact that the movie is not about that at all makes it feel so much more sort of icky that is still the avenue it chooses. Like, they chose to write the movie in this way. They chose to, like, it makes the character so much more of a prop than an actual character, that we're just sort of left to be like, oh, well, yeah, he shot him because he's black, but like, we're going to move past that real quick and not like deal with that in the plot. We're going to focus on this we're going to focus on this white lady.
That really fucking sucks.
Right? Doesn't it make the whole thing a little bit worse? Doesn't it make the whole thing a little bit more complicated?
Although it's very funny to imagine Keith Carradine as like, you know that one Onion video where it's like, guy wants to assassinate Obama, but not because he's black or anything. It's just like
he is truly genuinely not racist, and he just wanted to shoot someone and it happened. Like, that's something the movie doesn't get into at all, is the idea. Like, at first he's just called to the car for some sort of disturbance or whatever because they're having sex, and they're, having sex in public. And when he sees Dana Delaney, he's, being very like, hey, ma'am, what's going on here? And then when he sees Von D. Curtis Hall, like, that's something this movie could be about, is like the anger of this guy seeing an interracial couple having sex. And that's not what the movie's, it doesn't care about that. It's not interested in that. It's not interested in really any of the implications of the shooting that is at its center and is the reason any of this happens. It really doesn't care about any of the social goings on behind the scenes. And I couldn't put my finger on it at the time, because I think when I was watching it, I just assumed, well, at some point they're going to get to that. At some point that's going to be a topic of discussion. And then when the movie ended, I didn't put together that they never circled back to that topic. And so I wasn't actively thinking about how they missed it. Because we recorded right after I finished watching. So I didn't really have the time to sit with it and think back and realize, oh, wait, they never did that. They never talked about that at all. It's really weird. It's really weird that the movie's not interested in that to any degree.
Yeah, that is, like I was kind of saying, on the episode, which the listeners have just listened to. It's it feels like there was a lot of meddling when it came to there was a much different earlier draft of the script that was a lot better, I guess. It was a lot more into things, and it's but then it's it just somebody along the way just really stripped it away of any kind of interesting discussion of anything.
But I don't even know about that, because it's written and directed by one guy.
I know, but I'm saying production or something. I don't know. But also it's
maybe
it could be an uncredited first draft or something.
It could be, but I feel I mean, it's not like this is the kind of movie that there's going to be a lot of information about the production of, but I don't know if I necessarily get the vibe of that off it.
We just need to call up what's the person's name? John Saker Young.
And he has been dead for 5 years.
Well, let's just call up Dana Delaney.
Sure, why not?
Not even, or Justin Theroux. Not even because of
just be like, hey, how's it going?
Want to come on the podcast? Delaney? Just talk about any movie. Tell us about what Paul Schrader's like.
Yeah, Keith Carradine's still alive, right?
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I'm thinking of Peter Fonda. He's dead.
Yes, those are two entirely different guys.
They're similar guys, though.
Yeah, but not the same.
I know, but they're similar guys,
I guess.
Chat, say in the comments whether you think Peter Fonda and Keith Carradine are similar guys or not.
I'm not doubting that. I'm not disputing that they're similar guys. But yeah, I wanted to come back in here and float that topic, because it really is sort of damning to the movie as a whole that it doesn't that's not what it's interested in. Because what is it interested in? Why put that in your movie just as flavor, just as backdrop, if you're not going to be about that, especially when the movie is written and directed by a white guy? It really does feel sort of sketchy when if that's just being used as sort of window dressing to tell this other story. I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. And I finally figured out what it was about it that rubbed me the wrong way. And I just wanted to come back in here and put this in the episode, and have it not go unsaid by us as well as by the
It is going to be a really funny listening experience because it's we go from the movie and do this long game just about Oscar winners and stuff, end the episode, but then it's not the end of the episode, and we have to talk about racism.
Yes. Um, yeah, you're not wrong about that. And I don't know if there's a fun way to end the episode now. So tune in next week for Deadly Matrimony is the movie.
With a special guest.
Okay, Eliza, see if you can remember the name of this guest who has been on our show before.
It's fucking what's that name from SNL? It's Luke?
No, you got the right first letter.
Liam?
No, but you got 2 syllables correct. It is a 2-syllable name.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know.
Logan. My friend Logan.
I'm so sorry, Logan. And Gordon will definitely bring this up on the next episode.
He's also definitely listening to this one. So like,
come on.
No, you're fine. You're fine about that. He's not. It's okay. But yeah, tune in next week on Deadly Matrimony, 2-parter miniseries. Treat Williams, Embeth Davidtz, Brian Dennehy, obviously the first of the Jack Reed series of TV movies. So should be a more interesting movie and conversation than
or at
this
least
one.
a more fun one.
yeah, more fun to talk about. But yeah, just thank you for listening. I guess we're doing a proper outro on this one. Yeah. Might as well. You want to plug anything, Eliza? You want to plug the show?
What the fuck's our Twitter account called? At the TV Movie Story on Twitter. You can, or XD Everything app if you want to call it that.
At Televised Pod on Instagram, which is just Instagram.
Follow us. Follow the show on Spotify as well. It helps
and
us
on YouTube. Televised the TV Movie Story. We have full episodes up there. No video format, just still just audio, but.
And if like I still need to go like manually unprivate every single fucking video, but hopefully the next episode will be unprivate. And also, our show is weirdly, like I guess not weirdly, because YouTube just has a larger user base, but it's like some of our episodes have thousands of views or listens.
I think the most any of them have is like a few hundred, except for the upload of Legacy of Lies, but that's not an episode. That's a movie.
I'm pretty sure like a couple of them have.
I think maybe one of them is like a 1.7K something like. Red Shoe Diaries.
My mistake. Yeah, Red Shoe Diaries has 1.8K for whatever reason, but then then it's Ants with 631, When a Stranger Calls with 452, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll get into the short format content and which I have legitimately like thought about like overlaying audio from our episodes over clips from the movies and putting those out there, which is always
that would be very good to do but like I just do not have the time or energy to ever do that. So if you ever want to do that, please.
Or if anyone listening wants us
wants to help us edit for free.
Or, I mean, we could potentially hire an editor at some point. Probably not like
never
right now.
No, we're never getting that popular. We're never going to be able to monetize
I don't mean that
shit.
popular. I didn't mean it that way. But like, I don't know. If anyone wants to lend their services to us on that end, hit us up for, I guess, free labor. But yeah. I'm at this point waiting for you to cut me off to end the episode, but you haven't yet, and so I'm still waffling.
You're just still talking. It's like there's no good point to fucking cut you off.